Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be doing my February bullet journal setup. This month, I took inspiration from the decor at La Durée. La Durée is a French pastry shop, and their decor is beautiful, elegant, and sophisticated. And I thought it'd be really fun to draw a bunch of colorful macarons. So I went on the hunt to find the perfect minty green color, and I found this marker by Artist Loft. The color's name is Tea Green and the number is G12. I think this is a great match for the green that they used in their own stores. I used a marker to cover the whole page, giving me an even wash of color, except where I overlapped here, but I kind of like it because it looks a bit like a crack in the wall. I was originally gonna use the marker to go directly in my bullet journal, but as you can see, it does bleed through the paper, so I decided to pick up another marker by Tombow. This one is 243, and it doesn't bleed through the paper, but it does streak a lot, so I didn't like that, and also the color wasn't as great as the other one. My solution was to draw it on a separate piece of paper and then cut and paste it into my bullet journal, and that's exactly what I did. Here I am writing February in a gold pen by Uniball Signal, and I used a font that's similar to what they use. I think it turned out great, but I did write it a little crooked. Next, I'm going to draw a leaf design on the side. I'm going to show you how I draw the leaves. They're kind of elongated with sharp ends, and you draw them along the stem like so. First drawing it on one side, then the other side. You can do it faster if you feel comfortable without lifting your pen. But first, we're going to draw an outline on the inside of the circle with the gold pen. Then I'm going to grab a metallic marker in the brand Forever in Time. I grabbed this marker at the Dollar Tree. It was super cheap, very effective, and it looks great. This design is actually more complex in real life, but I don't want to draw a little baby angel. It was too much work, so I decided to simplify it and just do a crossover at the bottom. I started drawing the leaves like I showed you earlier, and I'm also going to be adding a line in the center of each leaf to make it look like it has veins inside. It looked a little too bare, so I added that to make it pop a little bit more. As I mentioned, this marker does bleed through, but it also bleeds onto the next page, as I'm showing you right here. So make sure that you use a notebook that you don't really care about underneath it while you're drawing your design, and that way you won't ruin your bullet journal. And here I am measuring out and cutting the piece of paper to fit onto my bullet journal. I'm folding it over like this. This is a trick that I use to get a straight line. And I am going to be using a glue tape to glue the piece of paper onto my bullet journal. It fit pretty well. I didn't want to go all the way to the edges because higher chance of messing up if I try to do that. On the other side, I decided to do a quote page. And the quote I chose is, "Great things never come from comfort zones." I think this is a perfect quote for me this month because I'm going out of my comfort zone just by making this YouTube video. I've been bullet journaling for 3 years now, and I've always wanted to share my ideas, my inspirations, and my art with others. I've just been too afraid to do that. So this month, I'm determined to get out of my comfort zone more often and try new things and do the things that I wanted to do for a while. And I hope this quote will inspire you guys to do the same. For the next 2 pages, I'm going to be doing my monthly spread for February. My preference for my monthly spread is to take up most of the 2 pages. I like to have larger boxes so I can put more things in. Not that I have too many things going on in my life, but my writing is kind of big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make boxes, and the size of the boxes are 6 squares by 6 squares if you want to copy it. But first, we can't forget our macarons. So I'm going to draw a cute little pile of macarons here, and I'm going to forget to color them in later, but I will color them eventually, you will see. And I will also be using my Tombow green marker to add a bit of color. It looks extremely streaky. I'm so sorry. I warned you guys, it looks very streaky, but I couldn't really do anything else. I wish I could have used the Artist Loft for these boxes, but it bleeds through too much, so I couldn't really do that. I did cover the green with some gold designs, so I think in the end it turned out great. I drew gold frames around the green boxes and I labeled them goals, tasks, and shopping. These are the lists that I use for my monthly goals, my monthly tasks, and my shopping list for the month. Then I colored in the other green boxes with this diamond crosshatch design. I'm trying to keep better track of my goals this year. Every year I set a bunch of goals and they kind of get lost because I don't keep track of them and I don't work towards achieving them. So this year I'm going to try to keep better track of them, and you'll see it more in the weekly tracker. On the next 2 pages I will have my habit tracker and my mood tracker. I started with the habit tracker and I drew my streaky green boxes again. For the title, I took inspiration from the sign in front of La Durée. For the habit tracker, I used something different. I used this crosshatch design again, and it created little diamonds for each square where you would normally fill it in, but this time you would fill in the diamonds. It's very hard to see because of the glare, but here I'm going to zoom in to try to show you what it looks like. Basically, you draw diagonal lines from in between 2 dots to the other side of the square in between another set of 2 dots. You can draw a small diamond in the first box to help you figure out where the line should go. You just line up your ruler along the side of the diamond and you draw your line. Once you draw the first line, the other lines are easier to draw. I filled out the spaces before the month begins to give me a little motivation to track my habits and do my habits. So you can do that as well. By the end, if you fill out all of your habits and you fill out all of the diamonds, you should have a really nice design. I decided not to write the day of the month on every single box this time to save on time. It's up to you if you want to do it, but I didn't think it was necessary. I just wrote it in the first box so I know which day of the month I'm on, and hopefully it's going to work out. If I do all my habits, I will be coloring those boxes with a gold pen, so they will be covered up anyway. Now on to the fun part. I've actually never done a mood tracker before. I didn't think it would be useful for me, but I couldn't pass up the chance to draw a bunch of macarons and color them in. So I'm going to give the mood tracker a try. I'm kind of excited about it and see if it's going to work for me. I guess I will know by the end of this month if it's something that I will be using in the future. I use the same header design as I use for the habit tracker, and I'll be using the same design for my other trackers on the next pages. I had a lot of fun drawing these macarons. I try not to draw the same shapes, so I varied them a lot. Basically, you draw a circle or a flattened circle and you draw a bunch of discs underneath. And I chose 5 different colors to represent my moods for the month. I don't know if these colors are going to work for me. Maybe I might add more or less based on what I need, but it's a work in progress, so I have to start out somewhere. I'm excited to color these in and see how they look filled in. On the next 2 pages, I will be doing my study tracker and my brain dump. The brain dump page is basically an empty page where I can put down anything floating around in my mind. Just like everybody else, I have so many ideas, things I need to get done, people I need to call, all these things that are clogging up my mind. So it's great to have an empty page dedicated for these ideas that don't need to be organized. I don't have to worry about them looking nice and fitting in. And it's been working great so far and trying to clear up my mind. Another thing that I've been using recently is the study tracker. I'm notoriously bad at choosing to study when I have other fun things to do. So I started tracking how much I've been studying every day and how long it takes. Hopefully this will motivate me to sit down and study more often. On the next page, I am doing my weekly tracker. This is where I spend the most of my time when I'm bullet journaling. I will be using the same accent colors that I used previously, which is the mint green and the gold, but I'm trying to keep my weekly tracker much more simpler because I will be designing this weekly tracker 4 times this month. I don't know about you, but the more complex my weekly tracker is, the less likely I am to bullet journal. So I try to keep it as simple as I can and try to do it ahead of time to make sure that I don't slack off and get behind on my tasks. I use this cross-hatch design using my gold pen again for the boxes on the side. Can you tell I really like this design? I'm kidding. Obviously, it looks great and it's pretty simple to do, so I decided to use it here. And another great thing is I can write on top of this design with my black pen and it shows up no problem. So the boxes I use on the side are to keep me on track for the week. The first one is what I will be focusing on for this month. The second one is something that I'm trying out recently, which is what I am grateful for. I think gratitude is very important to give you a perspective on life, and it can be a really good mood booster as well. I know when I'm having a bad day, all I can do is focus on the negativity and feel like my life is falling apart. And sometimes you need to be reminded of all the great things that are going on in your life and all of the things that you need to be thankful for. So this will be my daily reminder to be grateful for what I do have instead of focusing on what I don't have. The next one is my goal tracker. Like I said before, I'm trying to keep better track of my goals, so by the end of the year, I know that I achieved them. Every day I will be marking whether I work towards my goal that day. My focus for this month is consistency. I think consistency is very, very important. Without consistency, you won't be able to build habits, get tasks done, and work towards your goals. Here is the final flip through for my February monthly spread. I actually had a lot of fun doing this, and I love how it turned out. It's exactly how I envisioned it in my head. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content from me, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.